Hello, everybody. And welcome to SIFF Cinema. My name is Megan Leonard. I'm the programming coordinator here at SIFF. And thank you guys all so much for coming out. This is your energy right here. Yeah. Now you know for next time. Okay, well, really, I'm just here to present Eddie Muller. He'll come up in just a minute. But before we get to him, welcome to Wages of Fear and our Noir City for 2014, our international edition. Also, we will be having our 2014 edition of SIFF coming up very soon, and if you haven't bought any ticket packages or passes or anything like that, they are available now. I know you're all excited already. Some of our programmers have just gotten back from Berlin, Rotterdam, Palm Springs, so they're bringing all sorts of stuff for you guys. But really, before I do introduce you, please turn off your cell phone. That's the whole thing. We hate that. Don't do it. Don't talk, don't text. Don't do anything to bother everybody else next to you. But yeah, Eddie Muller, please come up here and really introduce the film. He's the Czar of Noir. Yeah, turn off your cell phone.
Glad to see so many of you here this afternoon. This is not even the halfway point, so yeah, we're in for the long haul here. And how fitting that SIFF would show a trailer for Sorcerer today. Those of you who understand that the movie you are about to see, The Wages of Fear, is the original version of William Friedkin's Sorcerer. And I actually love Friedkin's version of the film, and in fact, I will be interviewing William Friedkin at the TCM Festival in Hollywood in April, because they will be showing that what you're going to see here, the new restored 4K digital restoration of Sorcerer, will be showing at the TCM Festival as well. And I will be engaging Mr. Friedkin in a conversation about that and his career. And he is a fabulous raconteur, so I'm very much looking forward to that. There are major differences between his version of the film and the original by Henri-Georges Clouzot. If you are unfamiliar with Mr. Clouzot, he was not played by Peter Sellers. Totally different spelling. But he is a very controversial figure in French cinema, largely because when the Nazis occupied France, he did not really collaborate, but neither did he run. And in fact, he stayed there and began his filmmaking career making films for a company called Continental, which was a German-controlled film production company in France. So after the war, Clouzot was very much tainted by this and actually put on trial and was barred from filmmaking for life for what was considered to be collaboration with the enemy. He was not a particularly well man physically. He suffered from a lot of medical problems when he was young. He was tubercular at one point, and the idea of him actually running from France like many of his colleagues didn't really enter into the equation. So he just kind of stuck it out and hoped for the best. He made a film called Le Corbeau, The Raven, that spoke directly to this, which is an absolutely fantastic film about guilt and collaboration. And the thing that was amazing about this movie is that it ended up making everyone hate him. The Germans hated him because they thought he was biting the hand that was feeding him. The French hated him because they thought he was a fellow countryman accusing them of something. And so he really was just tainted throughout a lot of his career. However, he just kept making really great movies. On Monday, we are showing a film called Quai d'Orfèvre that Jenny Lamore in the States, which is an absolute masterpiece. One of the best films he made in the 1940s. I suggest you avail yourself of that opportunity. He was known as sort of the French Alfred Hitchcock, although he was even more mean-spirited than Alfred Hitchcock, in the sense that he really did have kind of a dismal view of humanity. But the films are completely exceptional. At a certain point, his life was totally revitalized when he met a Brazilian woman named Vera Clouzot. Well, obviously her name wasn't Vera Clouzot, it became Vera Clouzot. And she is the female star of this movie. Needless to say, the character of Linda that she plays in this film does not appear in Georges Arnaud's original novel upon which this is based. This part was created just for Vera Clouseau, because if they were going to be in the wilds of South America shooting this picture, he was going to make sure there was a part in it for his wife. She does not appear in William Friedkin's remake of this film. Rightfully so, I might add, because she is kind of, for me at least, the weak link in this movie. Not as an actress, but just the mere fact that that character is present in the film. It is the only possible misstep in this movie, because otherwise this is an absolute masterpiece of suspense. And you are going to be seeing the version of the film that was not allowed in the United States originally. A little bit more than 20 minutes have been restored to this movie, because when it was made, Clouseau, who was also somewhat politicized, made a film that was very scathing in its attitude towards American colonialism. And so the Southern Oil Company that appears in this movie is a very thinly veiled version of the Standard Oil Company and what American corporations were up to in South America at the time. And you will see this is the complete version. All of the stuff about the American Oil Company was cut out of the original release of this film in the United States. The film got tremendous reviews because it is just, like I say, a masterpiece of suspense. But American audiences and American critics never saw the complete film. So it's terrific that it has been restored and that now we can actually see this original version of the film. This is, I believe, the first major role for Yves Montand in a film, and he is absolutely stunning in this. I mean, I was telling some people in the lobby earlier who were unfamiliar, younger people, I'm so happy to see them coming to these films, were completely unfamiliar with like Pepe Le Monco and the great Jean Gabin, who is probably the coolest movie star in history, certainly the biggest French film star ever. Well, he was the image that the French wanted to project of their own virility and masculinity on the screen. And then as he got older, Yves Montand and Belmondo and Alain Delon all kind of took over the mantle from Gabin. But in this film, you can really see what the international appeal of Montand was at this time. He is just fantastic. And his colleague in this film, Charles Vanel, won the Best Actor Award at the Cannes Film Festival for this, which is an extraordinary performance, something I don't think you would actually see in an American film of the time. The transition that he goes through from being the most macho man on earth to what he ends up being in the film is completely extraordinary. So, I'm very eager to present this film to you. I admit that this is not any kind of definitive film noir in any way other than the bleakness at the core of this film seems to me to be kind of definitive noir, but I actually think of this more as an existentialist action picture than anything else. And really, you owe it to yourselves. If you see this and enjoy it, you really should come back when SIFF is showing Sorcerer, because Friedkin does an absolutely amazing job of adapting the same material in a slightly more modern, less romantic, and modern way. So both of the films, I think, are masterpieces in their own right. So, to quote Betty Davis, fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Because if you have not seen this film, this will put you through the ringer. So the fact that this is the first film of the day, I'll be amazed if I see all of you back here tonight after the 2-hour and 21-minute excursion to hell that you're about to go through. So really, enjoy Wages of Fear. Thank you.